let's get it started. So let me make sure what account I'm logged in. So one thing little bit different is that the our demo portfolio starts at the quarterly. So FYI, we have some other features, but mostly it's available everything to quarterly. But we have some few features. AI credits, um, quarterly get more credits, annual get much more. So any questions you want to ask the AI? I'm gonna just check something here quickly. Yeah. So when you log in, the first thing I'm just going to make it a little big so everybody can see that. So the way the layout of this website is, it's pretty simple, right? There are 5, 6 tabs. One is the research lists. I'll talk about it in a minute. The second is our proprietary Tenet AI. So there's lot going behind this AI. We have Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity. We have created our own database. And we are still updating our database, training it with Ripster methodologies. So we'll talk about it when we go there. Then we have newsfeed. Then we also have a Tenet Portfolio. We'll go through in a minute. Then we have market feed, and then we have our education tab. So we'll go through all the tabs. So let's start with the first one, which is our research list. So what is a research list? The main focus of the lists, of course, we have over 5,000 stocks, but you can search any stock. We'll talk about it in a minute. But the focus is usually the problem an investor and trader asks me, what stocks we should invest or trade? You guys being in the group, you guys already know. I always tell we already are on top of every hard stock. It's no surprise. It's no secret. We are already top. When silver was running, we were on top of silver. When quantums last year started to run nuclear, we were on top of that. But it's good if you are in the room all day, you hear about it. But if you are only coming in the room once a week or very few times, you don't really know what are those swing trades. You miss those opportunities. I myself, talk about so many names which were 300, 400%. But since we couldn't track it, and you go to Twitter to look, you ask somebody, you look at these so many accounts online, somebody's sharing something, you lose track of it. I mean, you can't figure out, okay, what's going on here? This guy's saying this is running. By the time I know it's running, it's too late. So the thing is, we have to create a research list which are dynamic. We would change it from time to time. So far, we have over, we will add to the more lists. So we have first list we have is Tenet Top 30. So what is Tenet Top 30? So Tenet Top 30 is our top 30. It says 30, sometimes it might have more than 30 stocks. Our top conviction stocks for 2026. And as you know, last year I shared a list of 50 stocks. Micron went crazy from that. Hood went crazy. This year we created our Tenet Top 30 list. Then we have a bunch of our list, 2026 leaders. And I'll go through in detail. First, let me talk about the lists here. We have the Congress favorites. This updates every 2 weeks. Any stocks which Congress is buying a lot, right? There are no surprises there. But if there's any surprise, we'll know. Then we have AI infrastructure list. Then funds are buying these stocks. Some of these are dynamic. We have jobs running behind, which update them every week, every day. So these are those lists. And then we have our AI scans. We are still testing them. And one thing, guys, we are still testing a lot of this stuff. It's, you have to be a little patient. If there's any glitches, if there's any errors, it's going to take us few weeks to make sure everything is running smoothly. All the AI, everything in the backend is running smoothly. There is no problem. So you have to be a little patient here. But what this AI scan does is, these are custom built scans that we trained AI to find the runners in the move market. For example, this is AI momentum. It's looking for anything which had momentum. This stock was running since yesterday, Trump pump, right? But we have other scanners. We will take more suggestions. We will create more scans. We might create our own MTF scanners too. Post-launch, a lot of things are coming in next as we grow. But we have something called earning setups. Anything which has earnings and it is showing some kind of positive move before the earnings, and you can look at that as well. So bunch of scans, right? IPO watch. Any recent IPOs which are worth interesting, it picks it up. It's different. Depends on what kind of trade investment you're looking for. You don't have to go everywhere, but whatever you like, there will be something for you. So I'll dig into the details, but let me just show you this down here. So this down here, what we created is called a hot list rotation tracker. So every day this tells me which sector is hot. I've been actually using it lately, and guys know One day we found quantums, nuclears. Not that I wouldn't find it without it, but it makes my things easier. I'm still coding it. I'm still making it more efficient so we can find stocks rotation easily early. So we can find it. So look at it, crypto. What were we doing since morning? We were trading MSTR, right? And this popped up early in the morning. So it sees how many stocks are, which sector is hot, it pops up there. It's not really built for day trading, but yeah, I guess you can use it for day trading to see. But what it does, it also tells if something is rotating, something is heating up. So for example, fintech started to run, the scanner picked it up, and they're still running, right? I mean, look at this. SoFi started to run. It's been on the scanner for the last 3 days. So you can find those opportunities using that hot tracker. So yeah, so that's and of course we have top gainers here. You can take a look there. Then we have any market news on the front page. You can have Tenet Research our feed. Any meta news just hit, so you can see that. So as a noob investor trader, if you don't know like what is hot, if you don't know anything, you come in, you can literally see what stocks are right now hot in the community, in the market, right? And this is just the front page, and you can add stocks to your list. I do plan in the future deployments, I plan to launch custom portfolios that you guys can create here, and then you can track your portfolios. You will have a username, and anybody in the Tenet community whose portfolio will be a leaderboard. It's not your real portfolio. Maybe in future we can do the real portfolio thing. It's something you want to track. You create your own portfolio. For now, you just create your list, what date you added the stock in your list, how the stock is doing. I was looking at CLPT yesterday for a swing trade, so I added it into the list. It's already up 12% today, something like that. That's your list. You can create that list, and you can go to your account page here. In your account page, you have your subscriptions. You can upgrade from here. Just press the upgrade, and it will prorate. You can cancel. No cancellation. Cancel anytime. Press the button. Cancel. You don't need to email anyone here. It's pretty smooth there. So your list will be here. You can create your trading notes. You like something, note it. So it's just a regular account page. So any journal, I will. You are a swing trader. You want to look for the opportunities, and you want to do research analysis. So you can do that. So we have a Tenet AI bubble at the bottom. Everybody has a certain amount of credits they can use. Of course, quarterly, annual have more. Quarterly have more. Monthly have little less. Because everything you press here, the company pays the money to the AIs, right? So you can buy it for $79, but you can literally use $100 worth of AI credits. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. So we have to gate the credits, but it's enough. It's not bad. It's really good, right? So you can ask anything here if you are in it. So let's say I ask the Tenet Research, what sectors are leading today. It will tell you what's happening in the market. Lower oil prices, energy sector was the poor performer. Whatever you want to ask, it gives you default questions as well. So that's our front page. That's our front page. Now I'll go to this most important page later. Now I'm just going to go through the other tabs, right? So I talked about this Tenet AI bubble. So it's always there. You can ask any question. Let's say you're going through my list and you want to ask, why is the MDX so hot, right? So that you don't want to drill further down, and you see that RIP has TMDX pretty high up here. Why RIP is talking about it, or why Tenet is talking about it, then it will explain to you that it has a strong operational results, expansion of the program, bullish analyst sentiment, what is the context, FDA approval, pretty detailed, and it will give you a bottom line. So any question you want to ask, you can't ask it, hey, what is a good tequila? It's not going to answer that. Hey, where can I take my girlfriend to the party? It's not going to answer that. It's going to answer stock market, finance, a Ripster system. You can ask. So it's it's not your personal AI that you can ask anything. So you have to be asked related to the market. So it's pretty cool. I mean, we have tested it extensively. If you see any issues, wrong answers, no answers, let the support know, and we will try to fix it. Like again, today is just an Few of you had a beta access. Today is just the open access to the Tenet members only. And that's why we opened it up. We're going to close it after this webinar. So you guys can access it and see how it goes before we open it to public. I mean, we're going to open it on the weekend, but you can always email. And then this is the main Tenet AI. You don't, you don't want to use the bubble. This is more detailed here. You want to ask him, what's going on, what's moving the market today. We have some default questions, just whatever you want to ask. You can ask about, I don't understand what is MOC. I don't understand what is P&E. What, why is car squeezing? Just literally, you can ask whatever. So I asked it, why is the market moving today? You just woke up, you came back, and you're like, let me see what's going on. Then it's going to explain to you what happened today. Middle East tensions eased at Iran announced full open for commercial vessels, blah blah, and then oil plunged. So whatever, it's pretty insane the way it does things. So you can take a look there. So I'm going to move to the next one. So yeah, so we have so credits. So it will tell you how many questions or credits you have left. It's enough though. It's just to abuse. Okay, here comes our news feed. News feed is pretty standard, guys. Nothing crazy. It's not built for day trading. It's more, but you can see the news here. It's more built for. There are a bunch of articles. They come here, and you can of course search. You wanna search about Tesla. So it's gonna bring up those, whatever the articles for Tesla. There is the press release. So this is the articles for Tesla. There's this article from CNB. Let's see here. Yeah, golden era of mysterious video. This article interests you, you go read it. Um, Whatever. As an investor, you just, if you see something, you read it. Then any press releases Tesla did, you can see here what was Tesla's recent press release was April 2. So that's pretty cool. That's okay. That's normal. Nothing crazy about it. All the other have it, but this is your free news source there. They have market news, just high level news about the market. It tells you what's going on. Now this is a special feature here. This I think is only on the annual. This is called a social buzz. The social buzz, what social buzz does, it real time, it looks in the market and it checks like what's going on. Like it tries to find stocks which are moving and there's a lot of news on them. Which stocks are pushing for whatever reason. I found HIMS here the other day. And people were pretty, and it went crazy after that. So you can see that the stocks, like it has an IBRX. Usually there's a lot of micro caps here as well. IBRX has been running all day. So SLS, CRML, 97% people are bullish. It looks on Twitter. It looks at stock tweets. Checks Reddit. So it does a lot of things. So it's a pretty expensive API that we have built. So it's only in the annual membership because it's really worth it. You can really find some really good gems, especially if you want to do a short-term trade. So that's called a social buzz. We have a social buzz. So let's see here. So let's go to the next one here. We come to the portfolio later at the end. Let's go to the market feed. Okay. So market feed will have morning brief. If you are in Tenet group, you don't really need it. But remember, there will be a lot of people who are not in Tenet. They are just traders, investors. They want to know what's happening in the market at the open. So it's a full market brief. We will be adding some more here. Top upgrades, downgrades. You wake up in the morning, log on to the app, the website, and look at your morning brief. Then there's an evening recap. It published today's recap here. What happened today? It's going to do it, why market ran, what happened to VIX, how was the volume, what were the top movers. We might still make it better. So it also tells you how the market environment is. If you're a swing trader or an investor, you see the market environment is normal, means you can hold your swings, your position, there's be less volatility. It's a good environment to find opportunities and trade. Because VIX is there. Then we have weekly analysis. This one every weekend, we're going to improve it as we go. It's going to first do a weekly. It's going to send you a weekly look ahead, what we are looking for this week. We might improve it more. I might put some charts there. Our team might do something. So catalysts. So nothing crazy, simple here. But this is important, our live feed. So our live feed is when, right now, if we add anything to our Tenet portfolios, our educational portfolios, we are not sending emails at least right now. But what we are sending is to the members, anything that we update, our team updates, they will send you, you will get an email with like this. So for example, yesterday we added Apple Swing. So I said, at the end of the day, we are holding it. And then have some biotechs we added to our portfolios. We updated that. If something we are watching, we updated that. Then yesterday we sold IONQ. So basically, it will up either the market updates, portfolio updates, or some important thing that our team needs to tell you or I need to tell you. That will be in a live feed, and you will get an instant email. Anything comes in the live feed. And if I am sharing some charts, maybe our team wants to share charts. I want to share some charts. I can put it here as well. So that's our live feed. So this is our market feed tab, right? So let's go into the education now. So this is pretty detailed, something that I wrote, and based upon how this is more focused not only the investors but also investing in the hard themes, right? So I divided it into a few parts here. Once you sign up, you can go through and read it. The trend mastery, it explained to you what exactly is a trend to the noobs. How do you find the trends, time frames? It's pretty detailed. It's pretty nice. I'm very proud of what I did here. Sector rotation, explain to you sector rotation, breakouts, understanding the basics on the breakouts, really helpful in the bullish market. Risk and reward, how do you risk, right? I'm going to talk more about it when we go into the portfolios. And then the complete framework. So this is our high level framework in the first tab. Then we have tutorials. We're going to continuously add more tutorials for swing traders, investors, so that any noob can become expert on what we teach. You guys in Tenet Trade Group already know a lot of stuff, but this is more focused on swing trading and, of course, investing. We have our research copilot. It tells you how to use Tenet AI, Tenet fundamentals, daily workflow, talks about ATR, earning playbook. Let's see here. Earning playbook. What are we looking for? Earning investing, reading the market breadth, dilution. If we are doing some micro cap swing trade, we need to understand dilution, risk reward. What is risk reward? So every member must go through the tutorials as well. And so that's the tutorials. How to use the platform. Rip pep talk section, man. You have some pep talk there. Doesn't anybody who's just here, he doesn't get my voice, live voice. So how to use the platform? So first thing you do is when you sign up, you go through the education tab and you get that. So okay, so that's how to use the platform. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so you can understand how to use the platform. I also am going to put a lot of my other concepts from digitaleducation.com we are doing here. So now there's also glossary of the terms. The glossary of terms is you don't understand what I talk about. What is a market cap? What is a PE ratio? What is a P price? So again, this website, this app is not supposed to be complicated. You go to people talk about, EBITDA, CAGR. They just kind of confuse a simple layman investor. He doesn't need so much. But still, if you want to understand it, what we use here, I will go there in a minute. We explain it. But anything you want to know about it, you can come in a glossary and read it. Then, so we moved a lot of our swing webinars here. We will be adding more webinars swing focused here. So these are basically all our webinars that are more focused, that cover swing and investing. We're going to add more, but these are again from our annual membership that we move here, because remember, not every annual in Tenet Group will be an annual at Tenet Research. They might be only an annual member in Tenet Research, and because they don't have time to day trade. So these are webinars for them, but there definitely be some new ones. The Tenet annual members already have these webinars. So this is, we're gonna improve it more as we go. The key here in the education is to make sure understand what we are doing, how we are doing, because again, this website is not a spoon feed. Although we have demo portfolios, and I'll show you that, but this is to make you self-confident traders. One thing I forgot: whenever you first sign up, because I'm already, you will get. Let me see if I can show you guys. You will get a document that you just have to sign for legality. Let's see if this works. Once you first sign in, you would have to sign this document. You know, it's for Tenet members. You already know what this means. It's all legalities. So you just sign it. That's it. So that's a legal document because remember, you're not financial advisors. So everything educational purpose. So some noob joins, buys whole portfolio worth of something, and just comes at me. Like that guy who sent $1,000 to fake Ripster yesterday. At least he didn't send 50 grand. Somebody sent 50 grand. Jeez, to fake Ripster. And the guy who sent $1,000 to fake Ripster, he said I already went to SCC and I already went. I went, dude, come on. Okay, just go ahead. So yeah, so that's why we have those legal things. If you subscribe to quarterly, you can just upgrade. It's a prorated upgrade. It's everything is automated. You don't have to. You can always email the support if you have any questions, but almost always it's always everything is automated. It's pretty good. All right, so let's go to the good stuff. Okay, we go to the portfolio in the end. Let's go to the good stuff. Let's go to the lemonade. All right, so let's see here. So this is where all the magic happens. So let's say you like a list. You like our Tenet top 30. So you want to go through all the tickers. All right. So this is where all the magic happens. You you can first of all you can browse the whole list like this, fast, fast, fast. If you like something, you stop there. Okay, I like AMD. What's AMD doing? All right. So first of all, every day whenever you log into a ticker, what happened to that ticker today will be explained by our super smart Tenet AI. So it will explain that what happened 12-day rally. So it can tell you the stock hit all-time highs on Thursday, 12-day rally, it got analyst upgrades, it gives you the technical levels, volume, and we are still working on this. You don't have to how the levels are. It does talk about support near 274. Reason it's talking about that because of breakout. So you get that daily live update on any stock that you are interested in trading or investing. So the next thing is the charting. The charting, it's we don't have Ripster clouds there. We don't really need it here anyways. We do have the MTF down here. All MTFs are bullish, 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 bullish. But you can do your basic analysis. I'm going to use it a lot. In future, if we can get Ripster clouds here, we can update it, but we already have our separate accounts. So I can analyze anything I want to do here. I can analyze on weekly. So I see that AMD is breaking out on the weekly chart. So, I like it. If I'm a breakout trader, I would love to get in closer to a retest of 260. And, if I had seen it before the breakout, then I'm ready to take that long. You can save it, you can download it, you can copy it, whatever your chart is. You make your journal. So you can do all the charting here. You don't need, if you're just a swing trader, you don't need to pay for trading view. You get the trading view here. You will get the indicators, whatever you want to use. You will just not get the Ripster clouds. What is this? The ribbon, huh? They made a ribbon. You'll just not get those. The one thing you will not get is that it is dynamic, so it goes away. So if you're analyzing something, you got to save it. So what is right here? Right here is any news, any article related to AMD, any press releases. Then we have our special social buzz. 84% of social sentiment is bullish that AMD is going higher, probably towards 300. So it tells you the social sentiment. That's part of our special annual package. Then on the right side here is institutional holders. What I look for, I see are the institutional holders increasing it. So let's see. Let's go to this list here. Let's see here. So let's look at some. Let's just look at core view. Let's see. So I had those. Let's see PLTR. So anything that has a lot of fund activity, it will say hot. There'll be hot. But you can see that how many increasing are more, reducing are less. New position. And but this update, it doesn't update every week or so. It takes time to update. I'm just making some notes. I have to do some changes. So usually if any stock is being aggressively bought by the institutions, there will be a tag here. It will be saying that we have hot. It's a hot. Okay. So we will be launching app, Amit, in a couple of months. App takes time, but you can open it on the phone, a phone browser. It works. Might be a little glitchy there. So we go to 2026 leaders. These were the stocks which ran the most. I can browse through them. Cipher, you know, I like the chart. It's good. Um, wow. So these are the leaders. So I'm in a different list now. And one thing to any stock you are in, let's say you are in. Let's find something. APLD. So if you are in APLD, look how many lists it is in. It's in 2026 leaders, AI infrastructure, data center, short squeezer, Wall Street buys. So tells me APLD is a good stock. Let's look at the fundamentals in a minute, but it tells me that it's hard, it's a flagging, and it's down from its all-time high. If market stays hot, all the ripsters are bullish. This is something we are still working on. We might be doing a lot of this manual as well, so give it some time. This is what, if you guys who are learning from me, you guys don't need this. You guys can uh, those who have learned from me, you can figure out what is a good support level or not. But we do give it for somebody who's completely noob. So it says that risk is low because it is in a healthy uptrend. Buy levels are accumulation zones on the pullbacks. If you do not understand that, you can always ask AI, see what it means here. So now we look at what's happening with APLD. So the APLD is not profitable yet, but its revenue is growing 233%. Then why do we like it? The reason we like it, because it is in a hot sector, chart is bullish. And let's see here. Yeah. So I'll come to the research in a minute. Usually what we do is we give a detailed analysis. What they do, APLD builds and operates high density data centers and workloads for the hyperscale, like leases with CoreWeave. It leases with CoreWeave. It has 16 billion long-term leases, blah, blah. It has something in North Dakota. What is the bull case? There's a bull case. Their revenue is increasing 250% a year. So it can keep increasing, then they maybe become profitable. So when we are investing in a company which is not making profit yet, when EPS is negative, it's not making profit yet. This is a different kind of investment. This is a growth investment. We'll come to the other stocks too. So it won't have the full pillars, right? It won't have the full pillars. We have to fix there. This should be on because it doesn't have EPS growth. 4 out of 4 is the stock that we love. We want to see everything growing, EPS growing, revenue growing, technicals bullish, hard sector. Look at AMD, 4 out of 4. Wow. So where were we? We were looking at APLD. So, but APLD is still a tradable stock because of many other things. We also share the bear case, like what can go bad with it. The risk with APLD is it's all fully dependent on CoreWeave. If CoreWeave kind of faces problems, APLD is going to face problems, right? You need to know as an investor, you can't be blind. You need to know what your customers are. APLD's business is if CoreWeave grows, APLD grows. It's that simple. But if a CoreWeave has problems, APLD will have it. So you as an investor have to make this decision. Is this stock good for you? So that's what we say. That's what we say. It's not for a faint-hearted. But what it's providing is not available a lot out there, right? So you also look at these things. Price to sale ratio is something which doesn't have. I'm not going to complete fundamental webinar here, but I'm trying to explain price to sale ratio because there is no earnings. So we try to compare how the other stocks which don't have earnings but have great revenue growth are doing. Then how much is the float? Now there's the other thing. It has a 31% short float. So APLD break the flag. Maybe it does it on Monday. I don't know, but it can squeeze. They do have enough cash. Of course they don't have cash flow because they're not profitable yet. So let me go to another ticker here, which is actually doing pretty good. Let's take a look here at, no, I want to look at a profitable company. Let's go to research list, top 30. Let's go to Micron, the goat, the real goat. So, so the Micron is growing revenue 196%. I mean, this is insane. EPS growth 600%. Insane. Um, Valuation, yeah, I mean, but it's a hard sector, you know. Um, Look at S&DK valuation, 130 times, you know. So, so Micron is a great example to pick in. So that's hold on, I lost it. Yeah. So Micron. So I know that it's doing, and look at it. They have more cash than their debt, free cash flow, amazing. And if you don't understand that, you can, always ask the Tenet AI. What is driving a Micron right now? It will also tell you what happened to the Micron today. What's happening? Why is it running? And you can see that the breakout is coming to go it for 500. Does it break out if market stays hot? Yeah, of course, right? Let's see what I was going to ask. What does Micron 10 billion cash flow mean? Let's see if AI can answer. Okay, so I asked AI, what does the 10 billion cash flow mean? As a noob investor, I don't really know. And you can always go into the glossary and see what the cash flow means there. So what they are telling me that Micron generated 10 billion cash in this fiscal period. Is the money that they generated, you know, and the free cash flow. So AI is saying 1.6 billion. So that's fine, little disconnect, but almost the same. So AI is saying that it did spend 1.6 billion. So it made 10 billion. It spent 1.6 billion on the party, beer, tequila, and rest of it took home. So it explained it to you. So as a noob trader, you will never be lost that I don't understand it. You can ask anything, it will tell you. Um, Let me see here. And yeah, so look at the pillars. All pillars, 4 out of 4. EPS growth, revenue growth, technical, hot sector. This fourth pillar is not just a hot sector, it's also a catalyst. If something has a catalyst, it will tell you. Yeah. And same thing, Mike, it will explain you what it does, why it matters, your revenue. So let me go to this side now. Okay, you see this? Institutional holders hot. That people have been, institutions are loading. Profitability makes 58% margins. What are the analysts telling you? They are saying buy. High target 550. And this was same when Micron was trading right here, 360. Now if the market is in correction, that's what I'm going to buy because I know when I see all this, I make a judgment decision that, they're going to take that. Yeah. So look at that. What our take was. Ride the data center ramp into 2027. You know, it does warn you about any risks, high PE ratio, whatever. But again, you have to use your combined knowledge. It also tells us that Congress has been adding. Look at this guy, this dude. Oh, that's a big dude, right? John Fetterman from Philly. Isn't it that the guy? I thought it's that guy. John Fetterman. He bought, yeah, he bought in March. Damn, dude got the dip. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, John Fetterman. Um, but insiders been selling. That's fine. Insiders sell for many reasons. They're selling. We can't just rely on just that. Then if you go bottom, you can see our Tenet research. Anything we posted, you can see the archives. So this is archive from yesterday, Tenet research archive. What did Morgan Stanley say? Morgan Stanley raised their price target to 450. It was last month, 2 months ago. upside, and you can read this additional researches. I mean, all the research you need is here. You don't go need to go anywhere, right? I don't know. So we usually, I have to check. I think annual members can do some custom analysis. Any tickers that is not in our list and you want to do something about it. Somebody asked me about car. Yeah, car is just, car is just a short squeeze. Yeah, there's no fundamentals behind it. Yeah, yeah, car is not a good example because car is just squeeze. It's in our short squeezer thing. This is a different kind of trade. This is not for everyone. This is only for those active traders who know what they're dealing with. So yeah, so what I was saying was, uh, so that some I think we will update the analysis time to time, and whenever earning comes up, we will update the analysis. And I think I have to check if um, the annual members can actually generate their own analysis on the custom analysis. ONDS, the last analysis was stock works if company demonstrates backlog growth, steady conversion, gross margins improve. You know, it's a credible autonomy in drone. So it tells you what we think. Tenet thinks, but I gotta refresh it. So there's no Congress bias there. So let's go to a ticker which is not on our list, or we can just search anything. We were looking at uh, we were looking at the biotechs that I mentioned a few times there. So biotechs are different, right? So biotechs do not have EPS growth or revenue growth. They are based upon their catalyst, the science. So that's what our AI does too. We are bullish on academics not because of the risk spreadsheet, because of the science. It explains biosects are not valued on EPS, they're valued on the pipeline, and it explains the catalyst on the biotech. What are the catalysts, what it could run to, and why? What makes the difference? What does this biotech do? You know, they create activated biologics that specifically target the tumors, targeting cancer cells while sparing the healthy tissue. So those, because we have a lot of biotech traders out there and biotech investors out there, it's not for faint hearted, but some biotechs like lilly lilly is monster. 40% one revenue growth, 51% revenue growth. This is a blue chip biotech, but not all biotech are blue chip. They're pre-revenue biotechs, but those are the ones which gives you 100, 200, 300% return. But also, if you don't, there are different things. I plan to do a big webinar on biotech to explain more. But Lilly is a monster. The moment I see that, you know, um, Lilly has debt, but who cares? Lilly has 19 billion revenue, now 8 billion cash flow, right? So the chart is bearish, but as an investor, I will love to buy versus this support, and we'll talk about the risk when we go into our demo portfolios. We'll talk about this in a minute. So yeah, so I was talking about Lilly. Yeah, so our take on Lilly is buy the dips for growth whole, you know. So that's the Tanner take, and doesn't mean that you just read this. You got to read everything. I'm kind of also giving you a fundamental webinar, but I'm just trying to show you which are high conviction, which are not high conviction. So it's not just I'm showing you the platform. I'm also trying to teach you how the money is made. There are different kind of stocks when we are talking about where is NeoClouds? NeoClouds, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I can find like this, CoreWeave. So I go to CoreWeave, NeoClouds. They are up 88. NBS is up 88%. Wolf is up 75%. CoreWeave is up 63%. Cypher is up 27%. Iron is up 26%. Now, none of them are profitable. Doesn't mean you can't trade it, but you need to know they are not profitable. Because when market punishes, it punishes the non-profitable companies first. The faster they go up, the faster they come down, right? But then you also have to see other things. Yes, they are not profitable, but revenue is growing. So people are paying for it to be profitable in future, right? So let's look at price to sales ratio of NBIS, and let's look at price to sales ratio of CoreWeave. Um, CoreWeave has a lot of revenue. Yeah, but still unprofitable. CoreWeave is a bigger monster. But which one was we looking at? But NBIS is 39 billion, high valuation. So this is, if you go to like a valuation people, like if you go to like those valuation gurus, they will like scream at you, what are you buying? Yeah, you guys are stupid, right? So we need to know what kind of traders, investors we are. I know the risks, but I also know it's a hard theme, hard sector. I know EPA, it is the three pillars. I know that, he's buying it, Jensen is buying it, so I'll buy it. I'll buy it versus 100. No way I won't, because I want to stay in the hard sector. Now there's a swing that we are doing that, and we found when they started to run again. If you see IREN, if I go to IRN does have a lot of debt, but the problem with IRN is they dilute. They need a lot of money, right? So they need a lot of money. So look at this. Look at here. Risk. The company has repeatedly raised equity and convertibles to fund the growth. Existing shareholders absorb meaningful dilution. That's why it doesn't run. So many investor traders, noob traders who come to Twitter X, they see, hey, this guy is saying buy the NBIS, IRN, whatever. They don't understand these dynamics of dilution, the market cap, right? So there are risks. But what did IRN do today? Why did we pick it up? It was coming out of the base, coming out of the support. Yeah, if I'm buying here, I have a problem. But if I'm curling here, we don't have a problem, right? So when it's doing that, let's look at the chart there. I know the risks, but I also know that, when we longed it the other day from the MTF clouds, breakout here, breakout, we use our system. And then since it's 1 hour is bullish, we decided to swing it because the sector was hot, right? So that's how this can be a short-term trade. We know it's coming down from there. It's a hard sector, but it's doing a lot of dilution. It's not for everybody. Now, if you want to go for the stocks, which are, go to the stocks that Congress is buying, you'll be safe there because those stocks will have, their revenue growth will be slow, but they are reputed companies. They give dividends. I think I had a dividend list as well. It's a different what kind of investor you want to be, so that's how it matters. I'll take a question in a minute here. For example, robotics was, none of them make money yet, but there's this penny stock RR, as a speculative play. I wouldn't buy here. If robotics get hot, they do 2 million revenue, right? That's all they do, but they're not profitable yet. So you have to decide what you want to do. So for RR to be successful, they need to turn their 5 million revenue into a reoccurring engine, right? So that's dilution is a problem, and I think there was some catalyst. So it's not for everyone. So that's what you need to decide, what is for you. So that's why most of our stocks in the top 30s, or even this, they will have something. For example, LMND. We love LMND. We swung it. I missed this one, but I think Clint and few of you are. We swung it the last time. I gave you the swing from 50 in the community because 50% revenue growth, estimated growth. If everything is green, I love it. If this is green too, I love it, right? But it's still not making money. But we can ask, when will LMND make profit? Let's see if we get the answer. Okay, LMND indicated profitability by end of 2025. So the day they become profitable, it's going to go back over 100. It's actually going to go 100 because their revenue is growing, right? So their revenue is growing. So their profit is going to grow as they move. So yeah, so that's how you find, you don't need any other tool. Let me see if I can, if I covered everything here. Um, you can also look at peers, right? Whatever. This is TMDX. TMDX, look at their earnings growth, man. Profit. They're increasing their profits 200%. They guided a little lower, but it's still increasing. Revenue, this is what they will do in future. This is what they're doing currently. Usually a company which is growing in currently, it will grow in the future based, so that's how you see that. That's why, this dip bought the TMDX 104s. Yesterday traded it. Today it was up $8. Literally $8 on TMDX. That was a short-term trade, but you know, so and you don't have to buy the stocks we are talking about in this here. I'm teaching you how to find those next big player. Of course, we will do a lot of most of the work for you because we'll make those lists. But let me see if I didn't miss anything here. So we have this institutional holders, profitability, analyst ratings, insider trades, Congress trades. Something we also have here. Let's go to Tesla. We have our archives. So Tesla, we have archives of anything. This was April 13. It was 510 target by Cantor. You can read it. So we have all the archives of the analysis as well. We are going to improve slowly. If you find anything wrong in any analysis, just let me know. We are still in a test mode, kind of going to fix a lot of stuff. All right. Uh, okay. So yeah, this was not supposed to be. This was a platform walkthrough, but my guru mode comes in, so I start teaching you that. Excuse me. Okay. So, any questions on this? Any questions so far? Research list, Tenet AI. Don't ask me about the subscription stuff. Just ask me anything on this tool, how to use it, anything. So, we're gonna improve things. Maybe we're gonna add a lot of more stuff. So, guys, all this you don't have like, it's. I'm proud of what I have built, or we have built. So this is, and as a noob trader, you will get everything: the KPIs to track, the key catalyst, can it take, what are the peers, right? And you can always stay on top of what is hot, what is not hot. And you have Tenet AI, market feed, social buzz, education. So now let's go to Tenet Portfolio. So Tenet Portfolio is portfolio to show you the trades we will take. We might not take all of them. We might not have all of those. This is educational demo. Some of analysts might add some ticker they like. Any other analyst from my team might add something they like. But the point is how to risk reward. The Tenet portfolio, will have, first of all, you like something. You like BE. That, I like BE. BE is, love BE, man. You know, um, I just don't know, how I personally didn't add here. I know we traded from here to here, we sold it, but it's our top conviction. But we did add. So BE is a complete monster story. I mean, so what BE does, it makes a box, a small box. It uses natural gas, biogas. It generates electricity. 99.9% uptime. Right? Why does this matter? Data centers cannot get enough power. They need the power. You know, 20 billion backlog. They're going to get more customers. So their backlog is already $20 billion. They're already making 777 million, right? A price to sale is okay, not bad, but we are not talking valuation. These kind of stocks are growth stocks. So it's 49 billion. It can be easily 100 billion. If the company starts to make billions of dollars, you know, the market cap is going to move. So, anyways, the point I was trying to make was BE the other day broke out of 200. broke out of 200. We were trading it in the room. So what we decided at the end of the day, I told you, hold the longs from the morning, swing it. Now, if you are a swing trader, you want to swing it, how much can you risk? I'm just taking example of BE. You know, if I buy at 200, I have to put the stops here. So let's say you have $50,000 account. You put the stops that we give you. I want you to know the stops. This is for completely noobs, but at least my Tenet people, group people, you should know where's the stop coming from. You don't exactly put at 200. I think it bounced from here close by today, right? Let's see. Or did it fade in the end? I don't know yet. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. How's it bouncing from 200? Man, love when things work that way. So we didn't stop out because 200 didn't hit. So what did you do? So you said, I have a $50,000 account. This is just for swing trading or investing. What should I do? So first of all, if you're completely learning, be conservative. If you are, if you are little more experienced, then you can do 1% of your account. If I'm risking 1% on BE, that's $50,000 account. I'm ready to lose $500. What's my stop? 199. What's my entry? Let's say I don't get the perfect entry. I only got 201, right? So I can buy 250 shares. That's it. Because when this is I have covered in the risk management webinar, you guys already know. So when I buy 250 shares, then I can, I'm fine. I'm fine losing 500. So if you're 50,000 shares on all our active trades in the short-term portfolio, you would take 156 on, and you don't have to take all. This portfolio is R. It's based on R, my teachings, R. Every time I lose $500. So let's take a look at Apple. Yesterday, we were buying Apple. We bought Apple, 263.20. I already made what I risked, right? So let's see, same stock, $50,000. You want to trade Apple. So you enter when I told you 512 calls, you can do there. If you think I'm going to turn the 512s into a swing trade, it's up to you. So ideally, that was a wide risk. I would have loved a smaller risk. But even if I take this as a wide risk, I still made 2 times what I risked, right? To hit 270. So I already made $1,000, right? Already made $1,000. I was ready to lose 500, but I made 1,000. So same thing, risk is always the same. I explained it to you in the webinar, right? Rocket Lab, I told you guys clearly right here, right here, and next day dipped and pushed. So Rocket Lab, same amount of your account, right? You buy that 68, you don't get a perfect entry any times, but if I bought at 68.50, I'm risking 65. I would love to keep a smaller risk, but I need a room. I need to give it a room for for a little flexibility with it. Okay, I just want to going back to the chart. Lost it. Let me find it. Okay, where it go here? Yeah. So I need to give it a room, but I know that it's a big support here. 66 is 65. Ideally, I wouldn't. If it breaks this, I would be a little nervous. Maybe that it's going to test 65. But I know that this is the level I want to risk. Whole number 65. So I gave that stop, and then I'm still risking 500, but I have 142 shares, right? On Rocket Lab, I made 4 times my risk. I already made 2 grand. So this profit position calculator will keep you control. You will not lose. Yes, let's say we lost on this. Where was our rubric? Rubric kind of dumped under 50 and then broke down. I told you guys to buy it, and then it listed. That's fine. We lost $500 on our 50,000 account. That's fine. But the point is, when a winner is winning, let it win, so that you make multiples. So even if let's say we lose 3 trades, we always want to try to lose the same amount. And it's nothing new. This is all I talked about in the risk management webinar. So we were just a little lucky. we started our beta just when market was bouncing, and you all guys know my silver, and we talked about Netflix, BE, Apple was yesterday. So yeah, so that's it. Long term, some overlap. This is for somebody who just want to swing trade. You can do long term, bull, long term. Your stops are at 450. Same position sizing. If you think in long term you want to be a little more aggressive, up to you. You got to risk $1,000 on bull. Now it's too late. Right time was then when I mentioned it. Then it's already 3 times. Silver, we double down there. Netflix. So Netflix is down, held through the earnings because our average was low on the long term. And I think it still will be good if it goes to 90 area. It might bounce there. Doubt it breaks 90. So we will use that as risk. So we have some more portfolios we'll create in the future. We have some biotechs as well. So some of the recent adds, TMDX, we already added. This is speculative bio. You got to anything you go to the portfolio, don't just blindly buy. Again, if you are here for blindly buying, that's not the right place. You got to go research, read about what I'm saying, what our analysis is saying. So why are we doing this speculative trade? And if it's a speculative trade, don't do 5 hour, right? So this has a catalyst because it fell down. It's this stock is what it does it when you take GLP, when you take Lilly drugs, and you leave that drug, you want to keep your weight low, then that's what it does. But pre-revenue, pre-profit, little bit bad data, boom. Now they are saying they're coming with a better data. They want to report the data, so people are going to buy it into that data. What is the risk? If it breaks 40, never look back, run, and get out of the there. So just an example, CRVS for the biotech. This amazing. I mean, I was literally reviewing it yesterday, and this Morgan Stanley report came up. Right, so you got to press the button. Sometimes you wait and you miss it. I was going to tell everyone this is the other biotech, you should look into it, because what they do is they do dermatitis data was amazing, right? So what was thesis? Yeah, and this biotech, you need to be, if there's some physicians in our group, you can help us out here. See if we can always add more information there. So some other portfolios we're planning to create is AI super cycle, but everything is running, so I can't. Everything is already up. Micron SMDK, So if we had open Tenet research in January, maybe we would have those. The growth, just to show different kind of traders what the opportunities are there, so they can do it. Market environment normal, it's good. So yeah. So how do you like it so far? And you can search any ticker. Your search history will be here. Yeah, I mean, see, if this is something you want to do, that you also want to swing trade and learn about swing trade or learn about investing, yeah, give it a shot. But you don't have to. If you just are a day trader, you like your day trades and you're doing pretty good. Yeah, we have the best community so you don't, right? But me personally, I wanted to focus on this side a little bit more as well, because once you grow your wealth, you don't have to move out of that daily scalping. You have to, because I have learned those lessons. Imagine those money that I lost in a day trade, 5, 6, 7 million, whatever. Imagine I just bought AMD or something and just left it there, right? Or just invested in any good names. So the point is, as your wealth grows, you have to allocate certain amount to this swing and investing, right? So whatever your priorities are, whatever you want to do are, most of this service I know will be more for the people who are at the jobs or anything. But for anybody full-time trader, Tenet Trade Group, will be a great combo for you guys as well. So anything I missed to mention, our team will always stay on top. We're still trying to build a lot of things. So we have opened the invites. Anybody want to sign up, test it out, up to you. We're going to close it again for the full public launch. This is just for Tenet today. So if you find any glitches or anything, let us know. So yeah, I mean, and we are going to add so much more. We are going to add so much more. I mean, a lot of companies are going to follow what we did. Before they follow, we're going to go far ahead. We have trained the AI is pretty good. So you test it. Let me know how it goes. But every hot stock will be here. Everything that's running will be the first ones, like we have been in the group. We just not always talk about. For example, take example of BE. Take example of BE and which is the other one. Take example of ARM. I keep talking. I love this stock. It's gonna go higher, go higher. We lose it in the chat, and the next day, a few weeks later, ARM is at 150. BE is doubled after a couple of months, right? Yeah, I mean, I have my receipts on my Twitter, but that doesn't help a lot of traders, or who, that information doesn't help. If we have the power of finding those gems, so I think Tanner research will change it. So